Here's a kitchen remodel that we just got through with. We went in and pulled all the drawers and doors and cooktops and appliances. We ended up reusing the drawers, but we had new door fronts made, and we just completely stripped the bases all the way back down to bare wood and refinished them. They come out really nice. Here's Eric starting the sanding process. Lots of sanding on this job. Take the front off of this cabinet because it's you had worms or something in there, and took a bunch of holes, and as we started messing with it, all inside of it was just hollow. So I'm going to take that off and make a new front piece like this one. Just make a new one over there. We had a nice little covered shed out behind the house, and I hung these extension ladders up to where we could sand these drawers and then put them up on top of these extension ladders to where they'd be up out of the way, out of the dust, and it worked out real good for us. I pulled all the laminate countertops off and backsplashes. They had a leak around this window and had a little bit of mold, so we had to redo the sheetrock. We pulled this all off and got in there and cleaned up all the mold, washed it down with some Clorox, and got it real good and clean. Re-sheetrock behind that deck. All this sanding created a lot of dust, and we had to continuously stay on top of it. You know, morning, noon, and night we'd be vacuuming so it wouldn't overtake the house. You can see the plastic over there to where we had our kitchen sealed off from the rest of the house. This sander has an attachment on it that goes right into the vacuum cleaner, so as you're sanding, it's vacuuming all the dust up. It's not getting out into the air, so that helped a little bit.
You gotta glue that, don't you? Yeah. Where's our water? Can we get water outside somewhere?
We're installing the new laminate countertops and the little bar area there. We made a wider bar, and after we got them installed, we put this cover on top of them. For the rest of the job, it stayed covered, so we didn't have any chance of putting a little scratch or anything on them. That's a good, cheap way of covering them. Is that real thin masonite. Just cut it the width of your countertop and tape it on there, and you don't have to worry about messing anything up then. We're all done with the sanding and doing our final cleanup before we're starting to put on our stain. We're just getting rid of every bit of the dust before we start. Here's Chad putting on the stain, and we're just dipping it in the stain and rubbing it on with a rag. And then right behind him comes Eric, and he's wiping the stain back off and making sure that everything got covered. Between the both of them, we didn't miss any spots, and it came out really nice. Once the stain got on there and we let it dry, we took steel wool and went over the whole job. Steel wool that stain. And here's Eric putting the hinges on, fixing to hang the doors. We did all the cabinets before we hung the doors so we could get to all the places to where the hinges didn't interrupt us getting it stained right. Here's the backsplash going up. This tile that we used for the backsplash had a mixture of glass and metal and tile all on the same little sheet, and boy, it was tough to cut, but once we got it up on the wall, it really come out looking nice. I wanted to wait till we were completely through with all of the staining process and the putting in the tile process before I started the polyurethane. So everything's through, and here's Eric putting steel wool on the stain all the way through. There's my little butterfly detail over the stove there under the vent hood. We did a butterfly mural that come out looking real nice. And here's the first coat of polyurethane, and all this was brushed on, and there was 3 coats of polyurethane, every one of them steel wooled in between, and once we got all done, it was just super shiny. It looked like brand new cabinets.
Old Mike come over here and did our kitchen, and he didn't tear up things too bad. But he made it look nice, done a good job, and cleaned up everything that got through, left it in good shape. And I'd recommend him to anybody that wanted cabinet work or stuff done. And he's a good fellow.
I had a good time working over here with James and Dorothy in their kitchen. And it was a pretty good sized remodel project, and we had some ups and downs, but it all come out. It's finished, it's clean, it's beautiful, and everybody's happy. They let me keep a sign out here in the front yard. That's advertising my business. That's always a good sign whenever you leave and people like your work good enough to let you advertise in front of their house. So I appreciate y'all, James and Dorothy. Thanks for the work.